Hello and welcome back, I'm Lincoln, and today we've got the bonus sculpt for the week. It's the shovel. I'm going to put up the rest of the prompt list now. This sculpt is just to add a little interest to your scene, so you have a little more going on in the graveyard, and it's totally up to you if you want to use it or if you even want to sculpt it. Hey, if you guys like to share anything on Instagram, use the hashtag October3D 2022 so I can find your work. I'd love to see what you guys have been creating. Alright, let's grab your iPad and let's get sculpting. Alright, let's go in and get rid of this. I'm going to add a cylinder, and to make the shovel, the bottom of the shovel, I'm going to go in and do the hole, and whoops, not what I want to do. Doesn't really matter too much. We could squeeze it down a little bit too. Right now, open that up. Okay. Now we're just going to slice that off. We need to subdivide it and validate it first. Now let's grab the trim brush, turn on symmetry. I'm going to use the rectangle, and yeah, probably about right there is good. Alright, now I want to use the gizmo and kind of open it up, flatten it out a little bit. Yep, that looks good. Okay, now on the front I'm going to use the trim. I'm going to use the polygon tool, and you won't have this node right here, and you don't have to use it, but I'm going to go ahead and just bring this up, and it'll make it a little bit easier to line up once you guys get updated to the new one. This will be pretty handy. It's really nice to find the center line. So drag it across, pull it down, and remember the white is what you're cutting away. And I don't want that. This one. Bring it up a little, and I think that'll look pretty good. I'm going to turn on symmetry, and it's on the X-plane already, the one we're looking at, and that looks good. So let's trim, and there it is, perfect. Now let's grab the, let's go ahead and remesh it real quick first. 500-ish. Should be like my channel thing, I suppose. Okay, and then go into the menu. I'm gonna grab smooth, and whoops, getting a little out of hand here. Smooth this down. Just kind of knock that hard edge off where it was cut. And if we grab the flatten brush, just kind of knock that down a little. It is totally optional. You guys just do however you want. I'm doing kind of like an antique shovel style that I found on eBay, I think. Just a reference photo. Oh, just gonna kind of roughen it up a little bit. There we go. Have a smooth brush again. There we go. Okay. All right, back to the front. Now it doesn't really matter from here what we do. I think I'll go ahead and put the handle on it next. So we'll go to the side, and for that we can just use the tube tool. Let's grab the tube, and we can do, I'll do a path. It might be easier just to kind of control, whoops, not what I wanted to do. Just to kind of control where everything's going. So this one, you know, your shovels normally come up here like this, and have a little bit of a, not a lot, just a little bit of curve. I don't want those. And we can go and validate it and change it from there. Now I'm going to go ahead and change the radius to all. That way we can kind of tweak this, because these are usually a little bit, have a little bit of taper to them right there at the beginning. Now I'll just kind of tweak around. Let's go just like that. That works. We come in, subdivide it, validate it. Now obviously it's a little off, no big deal. We'll just come in, grab the gizmo tool, gizmo option, move to origin, and we'll just move it back up where we want it. Right there. Right up against the shovel blade. Okay, and that's right where I want it. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, now I want to make this where it has like a metal band coming up and then a bracket coming off, and it's all be riveted together. So we can do that next. So we'll grab the select mask, rectangle, and I'm just going to grab all of this thing right now. We're about right there, and then I'm just going to remove some of it. So we'll unmask about right there. Oh, I don't have symmetry on. See if it'll cut us symmetrical. There we go. Doesn't always work on the tube, depending on if you've moved it to origin. That always helps, but it doesn't guarantee it's always going to work. So I have it on front facing only, so let's fix that. Select mask, go to the brush, front facing vertex only, turn that off. Alright, select mask again, try that again. There we go. Oops, it's on unmask. There we go. Now I will unmask this time and just take off right now. Symmetry again. We'll get it right in a second. If you undo, sometimes some menu items change, some don't. So it just kind of depends on what you got going on. Okay, that's what I want right there. Okay, extract. Where am I at? Yeah, extract. And let's extract here. That looks pretty thick. Yeah, I don't want it that thick. So let's move it over here so I can see it a little better. And bring it down to try that. That looks better. Okay, that's perfect. Now I want one on the shovel blade, so let's tap on him and grab to the front. Now this one, I can do front facing only on this one. So I just want it right here, and just a riveted plate through it. And then it kind of depends on which one you want. I think we'll turn off symmetry, or no, I'll leave symmetry on, and we'll do the polygon. And I just want it kind of like right here. Now if we do it like this, just like that, should, oh, no, it doesn't want to do it. Okay, so sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't on something like this. So we'll just drag this across, drag this down, and that'll work just as well, and that'll be a nice look. Bring this down, maybe I'll harden those points. There we go. That one. Oh, it's on unmask. Try that one more time. I'm going to turn off symmetry since it doesn't want to work anyway. That's the one thing that's kind of a bummer about this program. It's the only thing that kind of is aggravating sometimes is if you do screw up on your selections, you can't always go back and fix them. You just have to do them again. You can't just double tap back and get back to it. There we go, that'll work. Now that one's gonna have to be thicker because it's so thin already. So let's bump that up a little bit. Extract the gizmo. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, now I'm gonna combine those two. So the extrusion and the extrusion. So we'll clip those two together, voxel merge them, bring them up. And I'm not worried about keeping edges sharp on this one. We can leave that unselected, and I'm going to trim it anyway. Now let's clean all our masks off real quick. So I'm going to click on this one, clear the mask, keep it pinned, grab this one. There we go. Clear the mask. Okay, we got everything cleared. And here we go. Now let's solo this, and I'm just going to do a little trimming on here. And we'll just use, probably should use the polygon tool. Oh, I did not. Oh, I must have double tapped back again. Whoops. Try that again. Alright, now we got one object. Let's try that. Sometimes this finger still touches something on occasion and it will mess me up. It helps, and the palm reduction on here is actually pretty good most of the time. But I just like having this on. It helps slide too. Alright, so we got symmetry on. Let's see if it'll actually cut symmetrical, and that's good. Alright, I think the rest of it's okay. I'll trim those up a little bit. The top, just to make them a little rounder. We'll use the polygon again. Just come across. There we go. And trim. That's good. Alright. Now, just grab a smooth brush. Bring it up. Just smooth it all down a little. Yeah, this is just like all the rest of them I've done. And I'm trying to make it absolutely perfect. This is just a quick sculpting challenge to help you guys try out some different tools and different things you may not always want to use. Alright, so I got to clear those masks again because I tapped back somehow too much. So we'll go back into the mask, clear. This one, mask, clear. Okay, so let's go in, add a box. Alright, that's about right. Okay. Now remember, I like when I'm cutting these, I like to really cut these down and make them, I want them pretty thin when I'm cutting these. So that'll work pretty good. Okay, so it's going to be handle cut out here and these sides cut down. So I'm going to go in and update, validate it, grab the trim tool, polygon again, and just kind of go up here. Put sharp on both of those. There. Symmetry. There we go. Perfect. Alright, now I'm going to bring in just a cylinder and cut the top out. That's the easiest way to get it nice and clean. So we'll add a cylinder, bring him up. Yeah. Nose are getting in the way. Turn on snapping. Oops, not that one. There we go. Now I'm going to stretch it, shrink it, drop it down in. Something kind of like that. I don't know if you've seen this style before, but the really old shovels had the they had the thick wooden handle, and it was all one piece. This part and this piece was all one, and I think the crossbar was a different piece. Okay, so like that, we'll come in, turn that one off, and we're going to select that one. We'll voxel remove them and merge. All right, nice. Okay, now I'm going to bring in, actually I'll go ahead and open that one up. Now you're going to notice here that's weird. This is something in this update. They haven't quite fixed it yet. Sometimes if you change something, the gizmo will go to the origin. Okay, I'm going to drag this back. I'm going to turn off snapping so I can rotate this to match the shovel handle. And bring it in a little. One more rotation. And just get it lined up close. So the whole idea for this old shovel for me is, for my graveyard scene, I want something getting dug up in the coffin, and I want it to look like someone's been waiting for a long time to do it. So That's why I'm going with kind of like the old school shovel like this. Okay, lastly, I'm going to add in a cylinder again. I'm going to turn those off, the nodes. I will get it, I promise. Okay, turn snapping back on, snap at 90, shrink it down, stretch it out. And that's another thing. Okay, so I gotta fix it, reset the pivot. You'll see there that you guys won't have to do that. It's just something with this one right now. It's just really weird. And now you can see it's still off a little bit, but that's okay. We'll just roughly place it. I'm not too concerned about it. Bring this in, stretch it out just to where it matches. And we just got to get it placed again. Shrink it one way, doesn't have to match. Okay, and then I'm going to come up here, subdivide it, validate it. I'm going to grab the move brush or the drag brush, make it really big. Just going to drag it, nope, not quite that much. Maybe right there, yeah. Just give it a little bit of arc. Easy way to do arc on something like this. So we'll go all the way up like that. Now, let's see, need to rotate that just a little. Turn off snapping. There we go. If we bring it up and enlarge it just a hair, there we go. We just have a little less sculpting to do, and it's not that big of a deal. Just get it pretty close. Okay, so those two I'll put together, and we'll just voxel merge those. Oops, do not want multi-resolution. Merge it. We're going to come up here and grab the flatten tool, shrink it down, just flatten some of this down. And you'll see it's working both sides because I got symmetry on. And this can be a little rougher just because this would be like a hand carved piece that was on here anyway. Now in this whole challenge I haven't been too crazy about making a lot of detail on anything. And that's just because it's just more about just getting on your tablet, your iPad, your phone, whatever you have access to, and just sculpting. So that's just what it's all about. So we're not worried about getting crazy details. If you guys want to, feel free to do so. There's nothing saying you got to do one every day either. You know, just pick it up and have fun. All right, that's pretty good right there. We'll call that good. All right, and then the very last thing I'll do is I'm going to bring in one cylinder. Now a lot of times I will or a sphere, I'm sorry. A lot of times I will use my rivet brush that I have in my other videos, and I do prefer that for a lot of things. But for these, it doesn't really matter because there's only a handful of them, and it's not really even worth the trouble. And these can be placed, you can place them exactly where you want. Whereas with a brush, it's a little more haphazard. So with this, you can just clone this guy, drag it across, and you got your next one. And then I'll clone one of these, bring it up. So I will probably fast forward through this because this will take a minute, but it's not anything you need to see every single one for. Just so you kind of see how I'm cloning and just dragging straight through to the other side. Okay, so that's it. We can throw some paint on it real quick. So I'll go ahead and paint it. Rough soften that up a little bit. There we go, that's better. And that should be more like a rusty brown. So let's do something like, we'll do that one. You know what, we'll just do one of these and make it more metal. Be a little bronzy color, but that's okay. All right, and then these, and that one can be, let's see, we need to change something like this. More of a tan color. And the paint always looks a little different because I have dark and unselected mesh always on, so it does a little different sometimes. So we'll grab this one, and I'll change the color just to lighten it up a little bit. Paint all. And the rivets can be just a regular iron color. Grab these and paint all. There we go. Easy way to paint a lot of objects at once. So no, it's just a shovel, but this is just a quick, easy demo on how to make something like this. You know, the blade might be a little different for someone, you know, kind of thinking outside of the box for those. All right, if you guys are enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. All right, thanks.